Eric Britton.
And I'm Murray Reynolds.
In today's Tech Bee Talk, we're going to continue our focus on enhancing your field's oil and gas production with a performance review of Saskatchewan's Dodsland's Viking. Here we'll be showing a 30% increase of your production when pumping a nitrified foam. To begin, Murray, you have a third-party study by First Energy Capital that looks at 750 plus wells in the area. Could you give us a rundown of their study?
Sure. The area that we're looking at, as shown on the map on your screen, is Township 30 and 31, range 18 to 22, west of the 3rd Meridian. And this screen shows the type curve analysis of various operators in the Dodsland area. And we've outlined the performance of N2 foam wells versus all of the other wells in the area, and we see superior performance from those N2 foam wells.
To continue this study further, you've updated this to nearly 1,000 wells with the current data. How is this performing?
Yeah, so we've shown all the wells with a Verdazo plot here. We've broken it down into the 3 main fluid systems, that being N2 foam, slick water, and water base being polymer water. And we see about a 30% improvement in the 12-month cumulative recovery for the N2 foam system versus slick water.
So again, by adjusting your fluid system, it's adjusting your long-term production from the wellbore. How does that look from a type curve analysis?
Sure. On this slide, we've taken those same wells, the N2 foam, slick water, and water base systems, and we've plotted them on a normalized type curve. Normalized being calendar day oil rate per 100 meters of well length. And we see not only for better peak performance in the early time, but after 5 years, the N2 foam wells are still outperforming.
So looking over this 5-year spectrum, the IP crossover happens fairly quickly where N2 foam starts to surpass in production and then sustaining it over that 5-year trend. Just overall helping the economics of the wellbore and your field.
That's right.
So is there any contributing reservoir characteristics showing the affinity to N2 foam and why this production is improving?
Well, I think we think it's related to the high clay content of the Viking, which is typically around 40% clay content. And the picture on your screen here shows 2 pieces of Viking core, one in a non-buffered freshwater and one in a buffered freshwater, and you can see that in the non-buffered freshwater the rock completely falls apart, and this will, in terms of a frac treatment, the proppant will completely embed into the mush from the clay, and you really don't have an effective frac treatment.
You're losing your effective conductivity into the formation and not getting that contribution of flow.
That's correct. So the N2 foam systems minimize that volume of water, and they're typically buffered properly with KCl or some chemical buffer, and obviously they perform better.
So with the importance of cost, how does this affect your NPV as you transition into an N2 foam in the area?
Sure. Well, we've pulled what we can from the public data on cost information, and that's shown on the next slide here. And we still see at the 50th percentile a significant improvement in the N2 foam, and this is in terms of BOE per well per completion cost. So even though the N2 foam wells cost slightly more, the performance on a BOE basis is better.
How's that breakdown on a full economic spread?
Yeah, so on this slide we show some back of the envelope economics. 18 stages of proppant, 20 tons per stage of proppant, and we see only about a $2,000 difference in the cost per stage using the N2 foam. So your total additional cost per well is roughly $36,000. And looking at the first year of incremental production at a $40 per BOE net back, we get a simple payout of roughly 100 days of the incremental cost of the N2 foam.
So just over 1/4 and you're already into positive cash flow from your initial investment.
Sure, and as shown on the previous slide, we're seeing incremental production for at least 5 years.
Thank you, Murray. Any final conclusions for the Dodsland Viking?
Sure. Well, I mean, we're seeing a 30% improvement in 12-month cume recovery for the N2 foam wells, and this has been confirmed by a third-party analysis in the same area. And in terms of economics, the N2 foam, while slightly more costly, the economics look very favorable.
Thank you for watching our performance review on the Dodsland Viking. This is the second in the series, and we'd be happy to complete a performance review for a field in your area.